But this is what happened. I actually really feel this guy's pain here, right? Because like, a nice open goal. He's gone to the right. You're obviously going to the left, and then you hit the button and it goes up, and you just think, oh, Jesus Christ. You know, I can totally feel his pain there, right? And so this is where it all started kicking off. And I just want to be very, very clear about my opinion. Don't send racist messages to people online, full stop, let alone like some... And the argument these guys are young, you know, like 19, 20, 21, something like that. It can't be fun that they're going to get all this stuff. And if I were them, I'd just log off, frankly. I just wouldn't go on social media. But don't do that. It's really awful. And so let's get into the reaction to this, because it turns out that all of the white English players scored their goals or saved their penalties, whereas it was the 3 black players who missed. And normally, that to me means nothing. However, because this has all been racialized, because this has all been put under the framework of diversity and inclusion and tolerance...
Like if leftists hadn't made this highly political
wouldn't be
political along the lines of racial identity politics, then there'd be none of this reaction.
It would probably be an age question. It'd be like, oh, the young guys missed, the older guys got it, you know. But instead, it's about their race. And so now the table's been set, the game is being played, it's all done along racial lines, and okay, well, diversity isn't very much of their strength when it came to penalties, right? And so, I mean, you got people instantly, like the Italians, don't get me wrong, seem to have played a dirty game. I didn't watch it, so I don't know. I'm just going on what other people have said. In a now deleted tweet, this one person put, Italy didn't deserve to win, not after the dirty game they played and the actions of this racist ass who didn't even get a red card. I'm actually gutted for the England squad. It's one of the Italian players pulling over one of the black England players.
Like by the collar of his shirt.
And he pulls him to the ground. I saw the clip. Like, it's obviously a dirty move.
Is it because he's black?
It's not proof of racism. It's proof that the Italians are cheating scum. And that's not racist either. But anyway, so John, did we want to see the profile? Can we see his profile? Yeah, I haven't actually... The
profile of the person who posted this.
Oh, okay.
Right, we won't do it then.
Don't...
Oh, God.
Apocalyptically thick, she, her, 24, UK, fat macro mom, verified giraffe, momnivorous. Okay, yeah.
What a mess.
Right.
What an absolute mess.
No wonder she's just like, right, there's the Italian guy.
Racism did this.
Yeah, racism did this. Yeah, exactly. And so, like we said, we would not racialize this. I would put it down to experience. Normally, but of course black activists decided we are going to racialize this. All of the Americans who noticed this, who are also black, seems to have pointed out that they're black. I mean, this one person, all those that missed the penalties for England are blacks. Thank you, black activist. My heart goes out to my black brothers in England. Black Lives Matter.
Purge Yankees. I'm sick of Yankee ideology. I'm so over it.
No, I totally am. That's not what this is about, but I mean, I guess it is if you make it about that, I suppose.
But they're the ones who have done this. I mean, all of this building up, that's all from Yankee ideology.
Diversity and inclusion, Black Lives Matter, taking the knee. This is all American ideology.
Specifically, we should make out leftist American ideology.
Specifically leftist. But the memes kind of made themselves, because like in the background, you've got all these signs like, oh, diversity this, diversity that. And so people are just like, well, here you go. Diversity missed. What now?
You did this to yourselves.
Yeah. No one would have brought up the guy's race. No one would have brought it up. Well, I mean, okay, maybe a bunch of gammons would have brought it up. But like we, the normal people, normal fans would not have brought this up. But you guys made it all about diversity. And so everyone then turned to Gareth Southgate. What's going on, Gareth? And he just came out and said, okay, look, I decided on the penalty takers in terms of the penalties. It's totally down to me. Yeah, you better fall into... I mean, at least he did the noble thing here and fell on his sword. Although he's not quitting, apparently. He's going to remain the England team captain, which... I mean,
Manager.
I thought he was the captain.
No, manager.
Okay, well then, shut me up. But the point is, people were then being like, so did he send them out as a sacrifice? Again, just verify checkmark on Twitter. I didn't say anything because I didn't know S about S when it comes to European football, but it did kind of feel like he sent 3 young black men out there to either win or provide an irresistible target for deeply racist media to let him off the hook.
God, I mean, again, with the leftism, it's a win-win. Like, if the black guys score the goals and England wins, this
Yay.
proves that diversity is our strength. They lose, well, this is racism.
That's exactly it.
Can't escape it, can you?
But the thing is, it's hard to think that Gareth Southgate, the incredibly woke progressive that he is, wasn't also thinking, well, I should give the 3 black lads a chance, right? I should get them out there, and if hopefully if they score, then we win, and everyone cheers them.
Everyone can cheer me for diversity.
Exactly. It's hard to think that he wasn't thinking anything like this. But I love the comment they're replying to. Southgate really had 3 under-23 players take the last penalties. He's Mussolini taking off his mask.
What?
I don't know, but it's really funny. But the next one, if you're black in England, go home right now.
It's an admission that the Italians aren't white.
Well, no, yeah, sure, but like the point is they think the random English people are going to start attacking random black people.
No, they were attacking random Italians.
Yes, they were.
If you're wondering, which is what happens after any game like this.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not terribly surprising.
Yeah.
But then the N-word started trending on Twitter.
What?
This was early on. I saw this multiple times. 1.15 thousand tweets with the N-word, the full N-word with the hard R.
But it wasn't banned?
That's a good question. That's
like Twitter
really
bans every hashtag that's inconvenienced them politically, and yet they left that one up.
Hard to believe that the N-word can trend on Twitter in 2021.
Like, they have filtered words.
They have lots of filtered words. And apparently the N-word isn't one of them.
Like, they just left it there. Alrighty then.
Just left it there. And yeah, so, I mean, all I can conclude from that is that Twitter wants the N-word to trend. And apparently people reported hearing it just being shouted in the streets of effing N-words and things like this. And it's like, oh, God. This is just getting worse. And one of the players, called a chap called Saka, his Instagram was not pretty. Again, people just being really cruel online, frankly. It's just awful. It's really awful and not funny at all. So David Lammy came out. He was not happy about any of this, obviously. This is why we take the knee. Have you ever taken the knee, David?
What a solution.
Praying for a better future, worthy of the values, beauty, and respect exemplified by every England player. A lot of racism was unleashed by this.
Like, you spent months bigging up racial consciousness, as the critical race theorists would say. That is entirely the point of your ideology.
Yep.
Is to raise racial consciousness, especially among white and black people. And then, well, where does that lead? It leads either in one or two directions. England win, then we can celebrate diversity as our strength, blah, 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 blah. Or it leads in the other way. I would rather we didn't have any racial consciousness, especially in something as national as a national team in sport. We could just have playing football, but
yeah. But I mean,
and then his solution, like, we just need to take the knee harder.
I don't think I've ever seen David Lammy actually taking the knee, but maybe he doesn't have to because he's black. I actually don't know what the rules are. But the point is, it wouldn't have been this bad if they hadn't constantly hyped up the diversity. You got everyone thinking along racial lines, and now the other side, because you've lost, you staked everything on the England win.
You staked everything on race.
You staked, but not just that. You staked the racial argument on the victory of England because of their diversity, and that failed. So now the natural backlash is, okay, well, it failed because of the diversity. And people have been repurposing your own diversity propaganda to do this. Like the Gillette advert, whereas the white guy who's going to go harass the woman, and the black guy steps in and goes, hey, man, you don't harass that woman? Well, get what you deserve, don't you?
Like, this is the flip side of our ideology.
Yes.
It's exactly the same. This is why the liberal side of it don't want anything to do with either side. It's why we hate you and your leftism, because it leads to this.
Yeah.
Because your ideology is just this.
Yeah, and then you had a lot of communist cope online, which I enjoyed. I watched Ash Sarkar on Owen Jones's podcast with Billy Bragg, or I think it was Billy Bragg. They were talking about how Ash seemed to very much fetishize the black players. She was very obsessed with Sarkar in particular, and he was the guy bending over, crying. And so, cope.
Well,
Big cope.
You know what you guys have got to do?
Thought Marxism was coming home, Ash. Thought it was coming home. Inshallah. Don't know what happened. Anyway, yeah, huge amounts of cope online. Good morning to these 3 kings who should be protected at all costs.
What?
Well, those losers. They lost.
Like, presumably, like, okay, yeah, she's saying this is in response to the fact that they've had racist abuse.
Mm-hmm.
But what a weird thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, the fetishization of race was the problem to begin with.
Yes.
And that's not going to make it better. Like, doing the same thing is not going to solve the problem.
When racism rears its ugly head, it's the underbelly I and many in the black community feared would arise. Well, why did you have to keep talking about race?
Why did you promote racism?
Yeah.
That is what leftist ideology is. It is what critical race theory is. and yet you were like, yeah, big more of that up. And then,
You could have been talking about any other aspect of the football players that were in the England team. You could have talked about their experience, their competence, outstanding feats that they'd accomplished. But no, you were like, they're black. Okay, well, you're very much signalling to those people on the other side of the argument who are like, yeah, they're black, and that's a bad thing. You're like, they're black, and that's a good thing. And where do you think they're going to go? Like, who do you think you're going to hear from? You're not going to hear from people like us who don't want to talk about your race. You're going to hear from the people who do want to talk about your race. And so anyway, it carries on. Good morning to these kings. Again, I'm actually not impressed by people who don't win. Especially when all of this hype.
so that's the next one.
Yeah, if we can get to the next one, John.
Heroes. Kim Johnson. This is the black MP for
Yes.
Liverpool, who's not black.
Heroes win.
Yeah, it's weird. I kind of get the point of like, oh well, these guys have suffered abuse. They've been sent.
These millionaire footballers
Yeah, okay,
who have got the most exclusive jobs in the world are suffering, Callum.
They've been singled out for abuse, I should say. Not. Yeah, they're millionaires and all the rest of it. But okay, I get that point. But then to call them heroes or kings or victors, no.
They're losers. Sorry.
Well, second place.
First loser.
Okay.
They took off their second place medals as well.
Yeah, they did.
Weirdly, and if they'd taken the second place, I'd be like, okay, fair enough. It was a good show, but that's not what happened here. And they're not even being gracious in defeat. Like, no, these are like it's Jeremy Corbyn all over again. 2017, we won the argument. No, you didn't. That wasn't what it was about. It was about whether you're going to get more goals than the other team, and you lost.
No, it was about Marxism the whole time.
Exactly. Big Cope from The Independent. Sorry, I know this is going on long, but there's so much, right? Big Cope from The Independent. We may have lost, but football has still come home and everyone's invited. I don't want to go hang out with losers. Sorry. Why would I?
What does he mean?
These are still the best days of football's life and everyone's invited. This is such Cope. And it really is the thing that matters most. Maybe the ending wasn't the one that viewers clamoured for, but it's very hard not to think this was only season 1.
What?
This loss is only the first of many losses. Years from now...
There you go. I mean, there's the admittance that it has nothing to do with the sport. It has
Absolutely
nothing to do with victory. It has to do with pushing politics.
Yeah.
And well, they won that. They did get that.
Yeah. Everyone was very political until they lost.
And therefore, this is the first step into keep doing it. It doesn't matter how many football games they lose, as long as they get to push leftist ideology.
The Guardian had a good take here. We might have lost, but we could embrace being losers.
Huh?
England may have lost, but Southgate's team shows the nation we can be. What, losers? I don't want to be a nation of losers. Why do you want to be a nation of losers?
Well, we can be leftists. That's
Exactly. A nation of immigrants and leftists who lose. Not a big appeal to me, but I'll skip over what he's saying there because we're running out of time. And so, a Conservative MP called Natalie Elphick was in an MP group chat yesterday, and this was leaked to Twitter. And she said... They lost. Would it be ungenerous to suggest that Rashford should have spent more time perfecting his game and less time playing politics? Well,
She's right.
She's not wrong. Hard to refute.
So, what's the backlash against this? So the guy missed the goal. He should have spent more time training than...
Everyone is currently outraged by this statement. It's like, yeah, but he did miss.
As if the scoring of the goals is the important thing.
No. The politics is the important thing. And her saying, well, maybe you should have been less about the politics. And, of course, you get people like Mike Galsworthy, the arch Remainer. Gary Neville ripping into Boris Johnson. He said Muslim women look like letterboxes. Okay, what the hell's this got to do with with football? Obviously nothing. It's all about... he's very, very angry because they want to put Boris as the reason that these footballers are getting racist abuse. As if they didn't get racist abuse before Boris, and they won't get racist abuse after Boris. Boris himself, of course, turned around and said this England team deserves to be lauded as heroes, not racially abused on social media. Yeah, that's what a racist would say. How to encourage people to be racist to the team, tell them not to be racist.
I don't know why he...
They're just angry. Boris, angry. Bad. Boris,
but I don't know
racist.
why you wouldn't just be like, yeah, racist and bad. I mean, as if that's controversial.
Well,
for starters.
I mean, literally everyone everywhere is like, racism bad. I mean, it's like, those responsible for this appalling abuse should be ashamed of themselves. Yeah, I agree.
I saw Diane Abbott on GB News this morning claiming that we should criminalise these people, which, no.
I mean, they probably already are criminals.
Well, in the UK, yeah, but shouldn't be the case. Like, sure, disgusting, but it's words. It's not crime.
Yeah. But then you've got the defacing of a mural. I didn't even realise they'd put up a mural to one of the players. A mural to Marcus Rashford was defaced an hour after his penalty miss against Italy. Why are we putting up a mural of this guy as if he was some sort of conquering hero before he'd actually won?
Because he's a child hero of leftism.
Exactly. He's one of leftism's child soldiers. And so this was defaced because the guy missed. But again, the question, why is it there? But no, this is now racism. It's like, no, it's not about his race, is it? It's about the fact that he lost.
If it was Gareth Southgate, would it be about racism?
Exactly. And it would still have got defaced, no doubt. But yeah, anyway, so that's, well, I guess we'll leave it there because this has been sad for many, many people. And I just hate when the left is wearing something you love like a skin suit. I just can't stand it.
I mean, that was the whole thing. The whole reason interested in this, again, not interested in football, but just the overtaking of something and being like, yes, I'm totally a footy fan. Ash Sarkar, hashtag communism.
Yeah.
They were like, that's it. That's all it was for them. That's all they were interested in the whole time.
Yeah.
And sadly, they did actually, even though they've ruined the team, though, the fact that they lost there, that's not the important thing. The thing is that they managed to push their agenda.
And the thing, of course, is to cope about the defeat. Oh no, this isn't diversity and inclusion that's been defeated. It's just racists are everywhere. So, oh god, all right, whatever. If you enjoyed this segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can watch the full broadcast live every weekday at 1 p.m. UK time on lotuseaters.com.